In 1978, a high school senior posed for a class photo with the Vice President of the United States. Just weeks later, he committed his first murder. The name Jeffrey Dahmer is now synonymous with horror. We all know the headlines. But what about the 9-year gap where the urges were apparently resisted? What about the U.S. Army medic trained to save lives? Or the fact that he was fired from a blood bank? Not for theft, but for poor attendance. This isn't the story of gore. This is the story of contradictions, of warning signs missed again and again. A portrait of compulsion, confusion, and catastrophic failure. He met the vice president. In 1978, Dahmer's class visited Washington, D.C. and met Vice President Walter Mondale. Weeks later, back home in Ohio, he killed his first victim, Stephen Hicks. The 9-year gap, nearly 9 years passed before he killed again. Stephen Tuomi in 1987. He claimed he'd fought his urges through that entire time. The U.S. Army combat medic. After dropping out of college, Dahmer enlisted. He trained as a combat medic in West Germany and was discharged 2 years later for severe alcoholism. Expelled from university. Before that, he had lasted just 1 semester at Ohio State University, expelled for constant drunkenness and failing grades. The Yellow Eyes, obsessed with villains from Return of the Jedi and The Exorcist III, he bought yellow contact lenses to feel more powerful, to become the monster he imagined. The Childhood Operation. He later said his fascination began after a childhood hernia surgery when he first wondered what was inside the human body. The Trial of Sanity. In 1992, Dahmer pleaded guilty to 15 murders, but claimed insanity. The entire trial became a single question: was he legally responsible? The jury decided, yes, he was. The brain that became evidence. After his death, his parents fought over his remains. His mother wanted the brain studied. His father wanted it destroyed. A judge ordered it cremated in 1995. The grandmother's basement. At least 3 victims died while Dahmer lived with his grandmother. She complained about the smell. He told her it was just chemicals for taxidermy. 2 brothers. In 1988, Jeffrey Dahmer sexually assaulted Somsak's synthesophone. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison, but was released early, after serving only 1 year and placed on probation. 3 years later, Dahmer murdered Somsak's 14-year-old brother, Konorak Synthesophone. This case became infamous because of a serious failure by the Milwaukee police in May 1991. Officers returned Konorak to Dahmer's apartment, even though the boy had escaped and was clearly showing signs of distress and injury. Konorak was killed by Dahmer that same night. The second murder. He said he had no memory of killing Stephen Tuomi, only that he awoke in a hotel room to find the man dead beside him. The prison baptism. 6 months before his own death, Dahmer was baptized in the prison whirlpool. He said he had become a born-again Christian. The final day in 1994, while cleaning the prison gym, he was attacked and killed by Christopher Scarver, the same man who also killed another inmate that day. The phantom drinker. Classmates remembered a quiet boy who drank between classes, hiding liquor bottles around the school. The janitor job in prison. He worked as a janitor, the same place where he would be killed. First victim found 11 years later. Fragments of Stephen Hicks were found behind Dahmer's childhood home in 1989, identified only after his confession 2 years later. Diagnosed disorders. Experts diagnosed borderline, schizotypal, and psychotic personality disorders. Yet none believed he was legally insane. The near miss. Once, police stopped him for swerving, unaware a human torso was sitting beside him in a box. The mannequin. He tried to buy a store mannequin, a substitute companion that would never leave. The blood bank job. He worked as a phlebotomist in Milwaukee. He was fired, not for stealing blood, but for skipping work. The paid interview Inside Edition paid $12,000 for his prison interview. That money was redirected to his victims' families. His father almost discovered him after the first murder. After Dahmer killed Stephen Hicks in 1978, his father Lionel discovered suspicious trash bags in the trunk of his car. Jeffrey convinced him they contained spoiled fishing bait. He attempted to create zombies. In the later phase of his crimes, he attempted to immobilize victims to keep them in a submissive but alive state. He experimented with drilling holes into their skulls and injecting hydrochloric acid or boiling water into their brains. These experiments were always unsuccessful and led to the victims' deaths. He was obsessed with The Exorcist III. Dahmer was reportedly fascinated by the character of the Gemini killer from the 1990 film The Exorcist III. This character was possessed by a demon and changed personalities, which attracted Dahmer. He had a bizarre sense of humor in high school. Although seen as a loner, he was also known for his pranks. He would fake seizures, make strange noises in public, and photobomb the background of the school club's group picture. His classmates called this behavior doing a Dahmer. He left behind a significant legal legacy. His apartment, number 213, was completely demolished at the request of the victims' families and at the building owner's expense. The items from his apartment, including the refrigerator and the Blue Barrel, were auctioned but ultimately bought by a group that had them destroyed to prevent their sale as murderabilia. He became a target of taunting in prison. Before he was killed, Dahmer reportedly tried to provoke other inmates. He allegedly made fun of the food, shaping it into body parts and covering it with ketchup to look like blood. He was calm and cooperative during his arrest. When Tracy Edwards fled his apartment and brought the police, Dahmer did not try to run or fight. He calmly gave the officers the keys to the handcuffs and seemed almost resigned to the fact that he had been caught. Jeffrey Dahmer's victims. Between June 1978 and July 1991, Jeffrey Dahmer murdered 17 males, most of them young men and teenagers. His victims were primarily from marginalized backgrounds, including racial minorities in the LGBTQ+ community. He often lured them to his home with promises of money, photographs, or companionship. 1. Stephen Hicks, 18. June 1978, his first known victim. Dahmer picked him up hitchhiking after a rock concert near his home in Ohio. Hicks was killed and dismembered in Dahmer's family house. 2. Stephen Tuomi, 25, November 1987. Dahmer claimed he blacked out during the murder at a hotel and woke up to find Tuomi dead beside him. 3. James Doxtator, 14, January 1988, met Dahmer outside a gay bar. He was killed in Dahmer's grandmother's basement. 4. Richard Guerrero, 22, March of 1988. Another victim murdered at his grandmother's home in West Allis, Wisconsin. 5. Anthony Sears, 24, March of 1989, met Dahmer at a mall. His remains were kept and later found in Dahmer's apartment. 6. Raymond Smith, 33, May 1990. One of the first victims killed at Dahmer's infamous apartment on North 25th Street in Milwaukee. 7. Edward Smith, 27, June 1990. Dahmer accidentally destroyed much of the evidence of this murder when he tried to dry the remains in the oven. 8. Ernest Miller, 22, September 1990, a talented dancer and student. Dahmer kept parts of his skeleton as trophies. 9. David Thomas, 23, September 1990. Dahmer killed him after realizing he wasn't sexually attracted to him, but didn't want to let him leave. 10. Curtis Straughter, 17, February 1991. Met Dahmer at a bus stop. He dreamed of becoming a model. 11. Errol Lindsay, 19, April 1991. A completely random victim. Dahmer attempted one of his zombie experiments on him. 12. Tony Hughes, 31, May 1991, a deaf and mute man. Dahmer communicated with him through written notes before killing him. 13. Conrack synthesophone. 14. May 1991. The younger brother of a boy Dahmer had previously assaulted. Police tragically returned the drugged boy to Dahmer, believing it was a domestic dispute. He was killed shortly after. 14. Matt Turner, 20. June 1991, met Dahmer at a Chicago Pride Parade. His remains were found in Dahmer's apartment. 15. Jeremiah Weinberger, 23. July 1991, also met at a bar in Chicago. Dahmer claimed he was the only victim he intentionally kept alive for more than one day. 16. Oliver Lacey, 23. July 1991. An aspiring bodybuilder. His remains were among those found in the apartment. 17. Joseph Breithoft, 25. July 1991. His final known victim, a father of 3, killed only days before Dahmer's arrest. Baptized in prison, killed in a gym, his brain burned by court order. Jeffrey Dahmer's story is more than horror. It is a map of warning signs ignored, of systems that failed again and again, from the expelled student to the medic discharged for drinking, to the police who escorted a boy back into a killer's apartment. Sometimes the darkness doesn't hide in the shadows. Sometimes it stands in plain sight. If you found this deep dive informative, please like, share, and subscribe to The Deep Dig for more factual, psychological explorations of history's most complex cases. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.